What's going on, guys? My name is Jordan and welcome to my channel. Today I'll basically explain to you how I was able to get my real estate license at the age of 19 while also being a college student on top of that. So let's get into it. Before we get into the video, thank you guys so much for clicking on this, and if you're one of my original supporters, I just ask you to please continue to watch me through my real estate journey. I'm still going to be doing my lifestyle videos. I'm going to have different branches of my channel so I can try to reach as many people as possible and just share my life with you guys. First, you have to know how to balance your time. Honestly, when I started college, and I'm sure this goes for most of you, I did not know how to study. In high school, you can just show up for a test. Like, you can study, you can read flashcards, you can do all that. You think it's studying, but in college, it just shows you that there's levels. There's literally levels to it. So you need to know how to balance your time, because at the beginning, I spent too much time focusing on real estate, and then my grades slowly weren't as good as they were supposed to be. Or I either spent too much time on my grades, and then I fell into a cycle of not really being on top of real estate, and then ultimately forgetting some things and having to repeat until I finally get it. That wasn't the correct use of my time. I could have been maximizing that and being able to finish quickly and efficiently while also maintaining my grades. Just wanted to say I passed my test on the first attempt, and I'll be explaining to you guys how I was able to do that. So if you want a more in-depth video for the test tips, I got that as well. But first, I'm just going to explain the process of how to get your real estate license. One of the things that was so essential to me was literally my notebook. I had a blue notebook, a blue spiral notebook I kept in my backpack literally every single day. Whenever I walked between classes, I would just have free time. I'll look through my notebook. Whenever I was just out, I would have pictures of my notebook, like the important notes, in my phone. So that was like a go-to thing for me. There were many things I could have done differently. My course is personally through the CE Shop, but another good one is Aceable Agent. Those are the two that I've heard the most about, but I personally did the CE Shop. With my class, we would get breakdowns with each section, and I know other courses do that as well. When I was only 2 modules into the 30-module course, I realized I was taking down way too many notes, but wasn't retaining any of what I was writing down. Like, it was to the point where I was just writing stuff down just to write it down, thinking it would help me, which transitions into the studying portion of the test. Like I was saying earlier, you have to completely relearn how to study, but college teaches you that anyway. So for us who are in school while trying to get your real estate license, this is a very good time. You're already in that state of mind where you just have to study. So this is the perfect time to actually use what you're doing in other things and bring it to real estate. Because if you were just outside and just doing a regular 9 to 5, there's no reason to study at that point. So thankfully, as a college student, you already know what works, what doesn't work, and what you have to do. To bring it back to what I was saying, with the notebook, that definitely played a significant part of actually remembering. You understand things way more when you actually write them down instead of just saying it out loud. My problem was I was writing down literally every little detail when all I needed to do was the important key terms or things that were too tough, things that I was getting stuck on. But as you notice, especially during the early parts of the course, you can connect topics you already know about and bring it to one and just make an educated guess. And that's another good way to learn, but definitely get the notebook. I had just a one subject spiral notebook, and I filled quite literally the entire notebook by the time I was done for my test. You have to figure out which method of studying works for you. I thought I was more of just like a take notes type of person, but I learned later on while studying for the exam, also like an auditory person as well. So it had gotten to the point where I finished my course. I was taking the practice test for the state portion of the exam and the national exam portion. I just kept doing the national exam portion. I just wasn't getting it. I was not getting it enough. You needed a 70% to pass that portion of the exam, but I was only averaging around 60s at the beginning. For my course, the national exam portion was about 100 questions and the state portion was 60. The main thing, after you finish the course materials, that will be your best friend. Spam retaking the practice tests, just doing it over and over until you're drilling it into yourself and you understand what's going on. I do still procrastinate, but I've gotten way better. But I just did not use my time wisely. There's no more just waiting to the last minute and then expecting to succeed like I had been doing in high school. It was just not that easy anymore because one, college is its own realm. It's its own realm. Combining real estate with that too, it was insane to try and procrastinate and also think I was going to be able to get my license and get the grades I wanted. So I major in finance and I need a 3.5 GPA, so that was definitely not an option. Of course, like if you're in college, you know you're going to go out, you're going to hang out with friends, you're going to party every now and again, but that's it. You can't be going to every single function just because like all your friends are doing it. All your friends are not grinding to get their real estate license. All your friends are just doing their own classes. Some of them aren't even doing that. Some of them are just here for the experience. You have to separate yourself from the crowd and where you want to be. Personally, I know when I got back home from college, I had about a month before I got my license, and I genuinely did not really hang out with my friends, unfortunately, but I did what I had to be done to be able to reach my goals. And I would just strictly work and then study every single day. So, but before you can even get to that point, you have to actually like do all the course materials and get up to the part where you're studying for the exam. So time management is very essential, and you just need to set. In my course, there are 30 real modules. I think there are about 2 for the test, but there are 30 separate modules. I started in October and I got my license in June. You can do it faster than that. It's just I had too much going on. I majored in finance. It was just a lot in the moment because I was still getting used to freshman life and just college life in general. So I had to relearn how to study, acclimated to college, having a girlfriend, balancing the social life, all of that. So I just had to do a lot of working on myself and figuring out what works and what doesn't for me. Like, hopefully you guys can use some of what I've learned and actually take it and do what I've done, do it better, because it's definitely possible. Definitely do need to still go out every now and again. You guys see me going to parties, hanging out with friends, but just make sure that's occasionally, because you need a little mental break every now and again, but you need to stay focused to be able to get where you want to be. One of my problems was that my goal was just to smoothly go through my course quickly, trying to get done as fast as possible. I was actually 80% done with my course in December, and you heard I started in October, so I was pretty up there very fast. But the problem was I was up there, but I didn't really retain the knowledge I had learned up until that point. My goal was to go through it and get licensed as quickly as possible, because I really wanted to start working back in Christmas break. Quickly realized it's better to just spend my time like building the foundation instead of just skipping to the end. So definitely take your time with the course, but also make sure you're focused. You're able to go through the course at your own pace, so it depends on the person, depends on your school life, how much work you're having, but so you can definitely speed up the process. But once you get to the point where you're done with the course and it's just studying for the exam, it really humbles you. It shows you, okay, I've gotten this far, but I don't really understand to this level. So you'll be able to see a breakdown of what you need to study. That's where the notebook really comes in handy, because you've already done a section breakdown for each module. You're going to be in a good position, but you can go back and write more notes. Like, my main thing with the practice exams, when I started off at the beginning, I would write down the questions I would get wrong. I would write them down in like a summarized version so I could understand it. Like, break things down to your understanding. Everyone's different, everyone learns differently, moves at a different pace. So it's just about doing what works for you. And it's also okay to go over your limit. I had to purchase a month extension because I was really grinding. I ended up with a good GPA, so I put my focus on that. During the last week of finals, I would just practice exam every single day. Especially up until that last week before your exam, you need to be doing a minimum of 1 to 2 practice exams each day. And yes, this will take you around 1 hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours minimum, but that's what you need to do to be able to drill it into your head so you actually remember. And another thing with me, once I would study for a long time, weeks on top of weeks, take a 4-day break, just not touching real estate at all. And once you come back to it, able to see what you truly understand or remember, what stuck with you. And it also shows you what you need to work on, because you don't remember a single thing about it. Let me just reiterate one last time for you guys for the exam portion. You need to spam practice tests. That will be your best friend. That is going to be what's going to take you to the next level and get you where you need to be for the real state exam, state and national. Also, use ChatGPT to help you study. Not just for real estate, but it's for classes in general. Like, that is a great tool you can actually use to study as well. It can make flashcards, it can make practice tests, like anything you can think of, ask it to do. Like, if you're struggling on a specific topic, I've done this. I asked it to break down terms and create study plans for me. The week before your test, I want you taking 2 practice exams each day. 1 in the morning, 1 at night, whenever you want to do it. But you need to do at least 1 a day. Really 2, but 1 will get you to that place you need to be. But you have to understand, this is not going to be an overnight type of thing. Or maybe it will. Maybe you're in that very small percentage that will just understand it immediately. But I know I personally didn't. I had to put in the work to understand it. But it's definitely doable. And you guys can definitely achieve this. So if you made it this far in the video, I want you to comment locked. If you comment locked, I'll know you made it this far. And I really appreciate that. But let me know what you guys want to see. I'm going to be doing more real estate content, so I'll probably make a playlist for my real estate videos just like I have for my vlogs. I'm going to do fitness as well. I appreciate all you guys for watching, and depending on how this video does, I would definitely do like a more in-depth version for studying for the real estate exam, because I know I don't really have enough time on this video because I wanted to keep it on like the course as a whole. But I would definitely put out another video for that if you guys would like that. Thank you so much for watching.